In 1996, remember where we started and I asked you when was the last time you got this feeling you didn't honour it? Every time I get a feeling about something, I immediately honour it, okay? In 1996, I got this gut drive to write a best-selling book. So what I did was, straight away was, I got an A4 sheet and I wrote down, I am a best-selling author. And then, out of the air, I picked a date, because I'd never written a book before, and I wrote down manuscript finished by a certain date. Okay? So I focused on the dream. What I didn't do, which a lot of people do, and this is another thing I want you to remember in a second, is they take out another page when they have a vision how to drive their Microsoft business. What do you think you might start doing when you have this really compelling vision and you take out a piece of paper? What do you think the exercise could be? It might be pros and cons. Yeah? I'd like you to write this down. Knowledge will always give you enough reasons not to act. Don't forget that. So in the context of your compelling vision and your dream to build your business, I will guarantee you, without a doubt, you will always find enough reasons why you shouldn't do it. And what I'm suggesting to you today is focus on the dream and see where that journey brings you, as opposed to pros and cons that will stop you on the journey. That's the bottom line. No matter what your dream is at the moment, here's my commitment to you. You may not end up with, I am a best-selling author, but you will always end up in a place you describe and recognize as better than your starting point. That's the bottom line. You may well end up with that. So what happened with my dream? Within 3 months, a knock came to the door. It was a lady from the local area. She says, I hear you're writing a book. Who was she? Who was she? Publisher? Good? No? You're getting there now. We're getting you going. What? What? Local gossip. They don't usually come to the door, they talk outside the door, yeah? No, yeah, you're getting there. You're totally moved on, absolutely. It was a retired English teacher, yeah? Now, what I forgot to tell you was some of the negatives of me writing a best-selling book. I got a D in English in my Leaving Cert. I got a D in English in my Junior Cert. So I was consistently bad at English. And people will tell you you will never write a best-selling book if you're a D student. I don't agree. I had no publisher. I had no background whatsoever in writing. And at that time, Tony Humphreys was the only guy that had written a book on building self-esteem with children. But there had been no books on motivation, this type of ilk as such. So I was walking the path less traveled. So bottom line, I had more than enough reasons not to act. But I focused on the dream. Along came the teacher. Then I was asked to speak at the Network Women in Business National Conference, which has been in a room with 250 ladies, which was fantastic. And the head of Network Women in Business that year was a publisher. And the rest is basically history. And unfortunately, you're not going to be able to see this, but I brought this book out in '97. It's out of print for years. The first thing I did was I modeled off best practice. And if you ever watch the gurus, of course, they always kind of, like this. All this stuff. So I decided to model off it. The problem is, it actually quite looked like I had my finger in my ear. And that day as well, which was a bit sad, I had a cold and Photoshop didn't exist. So you will also see I look like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer as well. So even with an amateur photograph on the back, this book sold 15,000 copies. It is the first of its kind in Ireland in this kind of niche as such. What am I talking about? I'm not talking about my journey. I'm talking about the ability to follow your gut and dare to dream and be able to attract teachers, circumstances and events to help you achieve your dream. But guess what? If you don't believe everybody can be your teacher, you won't attract teachers, circumstances and events. And that is why that's the critical part of this presentation is. What is your mindset? Is your ego getting in the way and stopping you from teachers who can bring your business to the next level? As I said, you're now at a phenomenal meeting. I will be going around and standing on the shoulders of giants that are around here, finding out what they do, what happened? What was the outcome? How can I do things better? I would absolutely cross-examine every Microsoft person here and find out best practice in absolutely everything. And then the key word, exceptional execution.